in order to achieve the free flow of goods and services, with work and capital between the member countries. They needed to establish mutual politics in areas as diverse as agriculture, transport, and when they were concerned with a far wider range of issues. Innovation is the key to economic growth. We must invest in research and development to create new technologies and industries. This means supporting entrepreneurs and startups, and providing the infrastructure and resources they need to succeed. Trade is another important driver of economic growth. We must promote free and fair trade between nations, while also protecting workers' rights and the environment. Trade can bring many benefits, but it must be managed responsibly. Democracy is a cornerstone of our society. We must protect and promote democratic values, such as freedom of speech, the rule of law, and the right to vote. Democracy is not perfect, but it is the best system we have for ensuring that everyone has a voice. Human rights are universal and inalienable. We must stand up for the rights of all people, regardless of where they live or who they are. This means protecting the rights of minorities, women, children, and other vulnerable groups. Justice is another important value that we must uphold. We must ensure that everyone is treated fairly under the law, and that justice is accessible to all. This means providing legal aid to those who cannot afford it, and reforming the justice system to make it more efficient and effective. Peace is essential for our well-being and prosperity. We must work together to prevent conflict and promote peace between nations. This means engaging in diplomacy, supporting international institutions, and promoting mutual understanding and respect. Culture enriches our lives and helps us understand the world around us. We must celebrate our cultural heritage and promote cultural exchange between nations. Culture can bring us together and help us appreciate our common humanity. Art is another important part of our cultural heritage. We must support artists and promote artistic expression in all its forms. Art can inspire us, challenge us, and help us see the world in new ways. Sport brings people together and promotes physical fitness and well-being. We must encourage participation in sports at all levels, from grassroots to elite competition. Sport can teach us important values such as teamwork, fair play, and perseverance. "380 years after his death. William Shakespeare remains the central author of the English-speaking world. He is the most quoted poet and the most regularly produced playwright, and now among the most popular screenwriters as well. Why is that? And who is he? Why do so many people think his writing is so great? What meanings did his plays have in his own time? And how do we read, speak, or listen to his words now? At a time when stress levels are soaring, rates of depression are increasing, and the gap between rich and poor is ever widening, we believe that giving can play a positive role in helping people to feel connected to those around them and generate a sense of purpose and hope. When we give, we feel valued, useful, and happy. Your tutor helps you make the most of your time at university by giving you guidance and support along the way. All new students are allocated a personal tutor who will encourage you to get the most out of your course, direct you to other sources of support and help you achieve your goals. To some extent, attendance at cultural venues and events is influenced by a person's age and the composition of the household in which they live. For example, those people in households with dependent children were more likely to visit zoological parks and aquariums than people living in single-person households. Welfare has a special political meaning to the United States because it refers to how the poor receives financial aid. In comparison, welfare services are regarded as a universal right in other regions like Europe, where it is believed that all citizens should be able to obtain a minimal level of social support and well-being. We acknowledge all the information and memory notes provided by students. We also acknowledge open source from various books and journal articles. All questions and answers are prepared and annotated by the Australian Institute of Language. All rights reserved. Not for any commercial purposes, for personal study only. We have attempted to provide as accurate information as possible to assist all students with the exam preparation. Please note, however, that due to the accuracy of the memory, there may be subtle differences in words and phrases. When in actual exams, please carefully read the questions before using any of the sample answers. Yellow is the most optimistic color. Yet surprisingly, people lose their tempers most often in yellow rooms and babies cry more in them. The reason may be that yellow is the hardest color on the eye. On the other hand, it speeds metabolism and enhances concentration. Think of yellow legal pads and post-it notes. cheerful sunny yellow is an attention getter. While it is considered an optimistic color, people lose their tempers more often in yellow rooms, and babies will cry more. It is the most difficult color for the eye to take in, so it can be overpowering if overused. Yellow enhances concentration, hence its use for legal pads. It also speeds metabolism. Since Plato, philosophers have described the decision-making process as either rational or emotional. We carefully deliberate or we blink and go with our gut. But as scientists break open the mind's black box with the latest tools of neuroscience, they're discovering that this is not how the mind works. Our best decisions are a finely tuned blend of both feeling and reason, and the precise mix depends on the situation. Moods may also have an effect on how information is processed, by influencing the extent to which judges rely on pre-existing internal information, or focus on new external information. Positive moods promote more holistic and top-down processing style, while negative moods recruit more stimulus-driven and bottom-up processing. The brain is divided into two hemispheres, called the left and right hemispheres. Each hemisphere provided a different set of functions, behaviors, and controls. The right hemisphere is often called the creative side of the brain, while the left hemisphere is the logical or analytical side of brain.